Welcome back again to Horror Furs with another kind of different episode. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a cryptid, because if you look into the world of cryptids, there is a lot of anthropomorphic animal creatures, half human, half animal. And the creature we're talking about today is called the goatman. Or more specifically, he's referred to as the Maryland goatman. And this is sort of an urban legend that kind of started maybe way back in the 60s, and I think it gained a little bit more traction in the 70s when there was some sort of incident with a dog having its head ripped off or something, which, you know, sucks, but I'm not sure what actually happened to the dog. Could it have been the goatman? It's extremely unlikely, but definitely spookier, I suppose, to assume it's a goatman. Kind of a few versions, like most good urban legends, they have multiple interpretations, and one of the interpretations is that there was a farmer, I think it was, or a sheep herder, or goats, are goats sheep? Yeah, right? Anyway, he was a herder, and I guess he dabbled in some sort of like satanic stuff. Some versions will say that, at least, that he dabbled in satanic rituals. I guess for some reason, I didn't really find a reason, I guess some teenagers killed all of his sheep or whatever, and then he was so distraught that he transformed into a goat man. You know, it happens, okay? Don't act like you're perfect. Sometimes you just get a little ticked off, and now you're goat man. Just take my word for it. It happens. And then I guess because the teenagers killed his goats, he now kind of specifically keys in on killing teenagers, because it's an urban legend, and urban legends are really meant at the core to scare teenagers into behaving, especially, you know, back in like the 50s and 60s when they were getting really rebellious or whatever. I don't hear a lot of rebellious teenager stereotypes from like the 40s and back. I mean, maybe it happened, but I feel like the 50s was when they were really starting to be like, hey, bug off, old man, ain't no square. That's how the kids talk, right? Like today and stuff. I'm pretty a hip dude, you know. Look at me. So that's one of the interpretations of the goatman legend. Another one I heard, this is actually the first one that I initially heard, when I was a wee little lad. I found at the school library a book about cryptids. Just kind of talked about different creatures like Bigfoot. I'm sure the Loch Ness Monster was in there. I know it talked about Thunderbirds, and the Goatman was in there. It almost had kind of like a scary stories to tell in the dark vibe. It just had like spooky artwork and then a description of the legend. But in the book that I read, it did say that the Goatman was like a scientist working at Beltsville Agricultural Center, which they do stuff there. Science stuff, you know. Who knows what them scientists are doing? Maybe they're like making some experiments and then it goes wrong and now one of them's a goat man. Who knows? Could be, you know. Wouldn't be the first time, you know, who knows? So of course, these rumors of the goat man being a science experiment from this place got so much traction that the center actually had to make a public announcement. They're like, yeah, we're not making goat men. It didn't happen. Which is exactly what they would want us to think, isn't it? Nice try, scientists. So maybe it's just because I like mad scientist kind of stuff and like science gone wrong, but I tend to be more intrigued in the science experiment version of this legend. I mean, they're both kind of like bogus, aren't they? Like, just highly unlikely either of those are the case, but the science one is a lot neater to me. Like, if I were to make a movie based on the Goat Man, I would lean heavily into the science version. Another aspect of the Goatman legend that seems to be common is that in both versions, I believe, he carries an axe with him to chop up his victims, which is super spooky and cool. Mindless animal, filled with rage and hatred, looking to chop your head off. Yeah, that's pretty neat, huh? But the fun doesn't stop there. That's the Maryland Goatman, but apparently there's also a Goatman legend in Kentucky called the Pope Lick Monster. And no, it's not a monster that licks the Pope. stupid. This is another goatman creature that lives by the Popelick Bridge. The Popelick Bridge is a bridge that a train goes by. Some people think it's abandoned, but it's not, if I understand this correctly. So sometimes people will go up there and get killed by a train because they're looking for goat people, but they found trains instead, and now they're not alive no more. So probably just a fair warning, if you do want to look for this creature, like if you're like a cryptid hunter, paranormal investigator, just don't go on the bridge. Stay away from there. Quit looking for make-believe things when real trains are there that will kill you. Okay, enough of the buzzkill. The Popelick monster, once again, has a few different versions of its legend. One version I heard is that it was like on a circus train, and it was some sort of, I guess, like a sideshow attraction. Who knows where it came from before, but there's a sideshow attraction, and the train got into an accident, and the creature escaped, and ever since it's just been living by this bridge. I'm not sure exactly when that version of the story takes place. Sounds like a very 1930s, 40s kind of thing. A circus train. Do circuses do the whole train thing anymore? I don't think they do. Either way, some people say that it escaped from a circus, and so that's what it is. Some people say that it also has some sort of satanic origin. It seems to be like an easy thing to just slap on all these creatures, isn't it? Like, what the heck is that? I don't know, probably satanic. That would be my guess. I'm a cat. And probably because of this thing's satanic powers, some people think it has the ability to lure you into the area where the bridge is, to make you get on the bridge, and then it'll either kill you or you'll be killed by the train. Which sounds like a great excuse to justify people, I guess, getting killed by a train. Like, hey, they're not stupid, okay? They were under the influence of a goat man. Like to see you do better in that situation. Either way, these are both pretty neat cryptids. I just have memories of reading that cryptid book I had when I was a kid. I don't know what it was called. I wish I could find it again. But it definitely creeped the crap out of me when I was reading about the goat man. For some reason, that's the one that creeped me out the most. I don't know why, but a neat sort of legend, and I thought I would share it with you here. Okay, now get out of my house. Okay, I'll be nice about it. I'll just tell you to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and then get out of my house because I'm done with you.